All right, let's dive right into this explainer and tackle the most urgent question facing San Diego homeowners after a storm. Does a roof leak actually cause mold? It's a super stressful situation, and honestly, there's a lot of misinformation out there. So today, we're cutting through the noise and looking strictly at the facts to help you understand exactly what goes down inside your ceiling when the rain gets in. Look at this number right here, 48. That's it. You have a maximum of 48 hours before a wet spot turns into a germinating biological hazard inside your walls. It's a terrifyingly short window of time, but the truth is, the leak itself isn't the real danger. It's that trapped moisture. We are skipping the fluff today. We're going to cover the 48-hour mold clock, why our local climate doesn't give us a free pass, how to spot the hidden threats, and finally, a clear 4-step action plan. Let's get right into it. Section 1, the 48-hour mold clock. Okay, so here's the deal. Harmless mold spores, they're actually already floating in the air of literally every single home in San Diego right now. Totally fine when they're dry. But mold only needs 3 things to thrive: moisture, an organic surface to munch on, like your drywall, wood framing, or attic insulation, and a little bit of time. Once a leak supplies that water to your ceiling, boom, all conditions are met, and the countdown officially begins. It is wild how fast this progresses. Take a look at this. In the first 24 hours, the spores activate, and you might just notice a faint damp smell. But cross into that 24 to 48-hour window, germination starts. Fast forward just 3 to 12 days, and those colonies are actively spreading into fuzzy patches. And if that steady moisture continues for over 2 weeks, yeah, you're looking at deep growth right into the wood with heavy black or green staining. It spreads like wildfire. And this right here hits the nail on the head. A lot of folks think a massive, sudden puddle on the floor is the worst-case scenario, but actually, a slow, quiet drip hiding up in your attic is a much bigger threat. A huge leak gets noticed and dried out fast. A slow drip, though, keeps a section of insulation perfectly damp for weeks. It's basically an all-you-can-eat buffet for mold before you ever even see a stain. Moving to Section 2, why San Diego isn't immune. We love our dry Southern California sunshine, right? But the reality is, mold honestly doesn't care what the weather is doing outside. The real invisible threat isn't the puddle. It's the trapped moisture creating a dark, wet, undisturbed microclimate right inside your ceiling. It's like its own little jungle in there, regardless of the forecast. In fact, our local geography can actually work against you. On the coast, think La Jolla or Del Mar, that sick morning marine layer keeps the ambient humidity high, which seriously slows down the drying process in your attic. And inland, in spots like El Cajon or Santee, sure, the summer heat bakes the surface, but it absolutely cannot reach that soaked insulation trapped deep between your joists. In both cases, the water just stays trapped. Plus, the types of leaks we usually see around here are the sneaky kind. We're talking failed tile underlayment, cracked flashing, or slow drips that only happen during a heavy downpour. By the time a ceiling stain finally shows up in your living room, that moisture has usually been feeding attic mold for quite a while. Section 3. Spotting the hidden threat. Since you usually can't see the mold right off the bat, you've got to trust your nose and eyes. Pay attention to a musty, kind of earthy smell in your closet or in one specific room. Look for ceiling stains that keep spreading or magically reappear after you paint over them. If your drywall feels soft and bubbled, or if you have allergy symptoms that totally ease up when you leave the house, yep, those are your early warning alarms going off. Now, if you can safely peek into your attic, check the underside of the roof deck and the insulation. You're looking for black, green, or even white patches, or discolored, matted down insulation. And remember this crucial tip. The actual leak source is almost always located uphill from where that water stain is showing up on your ceiling. All right, let's hit Section 4, the 4-step action plan. This is your strict, no-nonsense blueprint. And listen, the order here absolutely matters. Do not skip around. Trying to clean mold while a leak is still active is entirely pointless. You're just giving the fungus a fresh drink. Work these 4 steps in sequence. Step 1, command the situation and stop the water. The leak is the fuel. Grab buckets, slow the water down, and throw down tarps to protect your floors and furniture. You have to cut off the mold's water supply first. Step 2, aggressively attack the moisture. Remember that 48-hour clock? This is how you beat it. Get fans blowing directly across the wet spot. Crank up a dehumidifier if you've got one. If you can safely reach it in the attic, pull back that saturated insulation. Faster drying means significantly less mold growth. It's really that simple. Step 3 is to take an honest look at the spread. If you caught it super early and it's just a tiny patch on a hard, non-porous surface, you can probably handle a DIY cleanup. But, and this is a big but, if the mold has soaked deep into porous stuff like drywall, wood framing, or insulation, or if it's covering a massive area, call the pros. That material usually has to be ripped out entirely, not just wiped down. Finally, step 4, fix the roof permanently. Get a professional roofer to track that water back to its true entry point on the deck, which is usually several feet away from the ceiling stain. Do it right so you aren't dealing with this whole shebang the next time a storm rolls through. Really quick, a tip on insurance. Relying on homeowners insurance here in California can be pretty tricky. If the damage was a sudden accident, like storm winds blowing off your shingles, they're more likely to help. But if your roof was just worn out or poorly maintained, probably not going to happen. Oh, and be aware that mold coverage specifically is super often capped or just entirely excluded from standard policies. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want you to think about this before the next rainy season hits. Think back to the last heavy rain. Did you hear a slow drip? Did you see a tiny watermark that you brushed off because it eventually dried up? Considering how fast that 48-hour mold clock ticks, you really have to wonder, what exactly is that moisture silently feeding in your attic right now? Get it checked out before a simple fix turns into a massive project. Thanks for learning with me today, and hey, stay dry out there.